Good morning, everybody. It is meteorologist Agent Weather Forecast, and welcome back to another video. Sorry, guys, I did not post yesterday. I had a soccer tournament after school, and I got home like at 11 p.m., so it was very late to post a video. But here I am today, and this is gonna be update on the severe weather on in the south as we talk now, and it's gonna be very severe in this weekend. So this is actually Saturday. What's going on actually in a couple hours? Very heavy thunderstorms stretching from parts of the eastern part of Texas. Another area with very heavy thunderstorms, and you can actually see it's very just complex. The storm has just a lot of different bands. With the storm, you have one here, and then you have another one here, and then you have another one here. So you can just get hit by multiple bands, and each one of these strong thunderstorms can have multi-cell storms, which can bring EF2 tornadoes. They can bring large hail up to tennis ball sized hail, and it's going to be very bad. You can just see the pinkish purple color. That is very bad in the high and that's just severe weather. In northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas are going to get quite a bit of rain. And then you can see the little band stretching from Arkansas to parts of Oklahoma. And then very, very bad for parts of the northern part of Texas. And then very bad for a couple miles south of Dallas or near Dallas. Let's move on to the next couple hours. So it's going to bring a very big band stretching from central Arkansas all the way to parts of Louisiana. The worst of it's actually going to be for like the southern and central part of Oklahoma or Arkansas right here. This is going to be the worst part. Very strong winds, possible tornadoes in this area, and then another heavy band with very strong thunderstorms in this area, especially for northeast Texas and southwestern Arkansas. Very heavy rain, especially near that low. And then there can be this band gets a bit smaller as they get to Louisiana, but it's still going to be very strong. And then possible moderate rain for parts of the north or parts of Oklahoma. Let's as we move on to Saturday. This is later today. Very heavy thunderstorms for parts or very heavy rain for parts of southern Missouri and parts of Arkansas. Right here is very heavy right here as the low's right on top of it. This is the area we can have the tornado right there. Very good chance for having tornado and possible hail. This could be the multi-celled storms right here for parts of Arkansas and northern Louisiana. Very high chance for that happening. And then other bands of heavy thunderstorms where we can just have a celled storm with one cell just bringing pea-sized hail at the beginning of it before this strong thunderstorms coming in. So let's move on a couple more. So by later, this is Sunday morning. It's moving east, and you can see bringing thunderstorms for parts of Illinois, Kentucky, and then it's going to be very heavy for parts of Mississippi. Going to bring quite a bit of rain for parts of Oklahoma, and then another band, as you can see, for parts of Mississippi, parts of Louisiana. They're just going to be very small bands of just heavy rain, which can cause those tornadoes. And then this, you can see as just that rain, just like rain, not really thunderstorms, is north of this heavy band of just strong thunderstorms stretching from parts of southern Tennessee to parts of central Mississippi, bringing very heavy winds and possible tornadoes. And then there's those little bands before the major band, or there's those little storms before the major band of rain. And then it moves east, and then you can see very heavy rain for parts of central Tennessee and Kentucky. And you can see multiple bands for parts of Alabama. You can see just three in a row for parts of central Louisiana or Alabama, and then another heavy band or part of the band for parts of northern Alabama. And then, as you can see, it moves off into the east. But let's see what the chances of having those heavy rain, and this is a chance of having a severe thunderstorm with tornadoes. So many parts out in the light green, that's a very low chance. And then the yellow is a slight chance for severe weather stretching for parts of Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, Austin, and Memphis. A lot of areas in Texas, and then some Montgomery and Birmingham can get some. And so this is a slight chance for severe weather, sorry. But if we go into actually more into the orange, that's where we have an enhanced risk for this severe weather. So parts of Baton Rouge, parts of Lafayette and Beaumont, Texas, and Tyler, Texas, very heavy rain. This is a enhanced risk of getting tornadoes and large hail as those heavy bands are moving into this area very, very fast. And then as we in the more into the red, that's the bullseye for the severe weather. The biggest chance is a moderate chance of getting to parts of Jackson, Mississippi, Monroe, Alexandria, Greensville, and other parts of eastern Texas and parts of Mississippi. So let's go ahead and start reading what it has to say. There is a moderate risk of severe thunderstorms over parts of East Texas, Central and Northern Louisiana, Southeastern Arkansas, and Western Central Mississippi. And also there can be an enhanced risk for the southwestern part of Arkansas. Tornadoes, some potential strong to violent EF2 or more for parts of these areas have the biggest risk for getting those EF2 tornadoes or more. Not saying they will definitely get one, but there's a big chance that they will. Severe thunderstorms will pose a risk of large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes from central Texas this morning to the Tennessee Valley region overnight. As it moves east, it's going to bring very heavy bands, as you saw on the radar. Let's get into what tomorrow's looking like. So tomorrow, it's going to move east, like I said, and here's the enhanced risk for this in the orange. You can see that enhanced risk for the severe weather. I'm actually currently in there. It gets into cities such as Columbus, Charlotte, Atlanta, Lexington, Fayette, Kentucky, Knoxville, Tennessee, and I think the biggest area for the biggest area for the enhanced risk will be right here. I think that will be the biggest area out of the whole enhanced risk to get the most severe weather, and then it's going to bring some moderate rain for parts of the northern part of the part of this enhanced. And then the slight risk is going to have a smaller chance than the enhanced. Oops. Alright, something happened. It's going to bring parts of Nashville, Raleigh, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and Louisville. And it actually moves a lot north than just the south. But it's just not going to be very severe for parts of the northeast. So that's why they're under the slight. And for parts in the marginal, it gets from parts of Indianapolis, Baltimore, Washington, Virginia Beach. So it's areas like on the coast are going to get very light rain, not really, maybe just rain, not really severe threat. So that's why it's in the marginal. And then way up north, you have like a very, very low chance. So it's very low, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's get to Kentucky to see the Cape on the thunderstorms. So this how this works is the higher the number as you move, like so like right here, the higher the number you see, is the bigger the chance of severe weather with all that energy. So guys, this is 11 a.m. This is 11 a.m. Today. So you can see 2,800 joules per kilogram for parts of east of San Antonio, 3,000 joules per kilogram a couple miles west of Houston. That is very, very high. 3,000 as this storm is just getting started. 3,000 has a lot of energy under the storm. 3,000 is definitely not low, but it's not super duper high. But it's still very, very high for severe weather. Then we have 3,000 again for parts of southern Texas. We have 2,900, 3,000, 2,800 couple miles away from Houston. Houston can have 2,600 joules per kilogram at 11 a.m. We can have 2,900 joules per kilogram, 2,600. But the worst hour is 2 p.m. for parts of Texas. Very, very high, as you can see. And it's you can see 3,600 joules per kilogram. That is very, very high. You can see 3,700, 3,800 is very high. 3,100, 3,500. You can see 3,400, 3,900, 4,000 joules per kilogram near the border of Louisiana. That is very, very high. That's the area where you can see those tornadoes. 3,100 on the coast. For Baton Rouge, you can get 2,900, 3,700 for parts of Louisiana. Stretching in this general area is going to have a lot of energy. especially right here where you could have that 4,000 joules per kilogram. You can see 3,600, 3,400, 3,400, and then up near 4,000 joules per kilogram. Let's get to 5 p.m. Sorry. Let's get to 5 p.m. It's getting very bad for parts of the eastern part of the country, or eastern part of Texas. As you saw, they are in the moderate chance for a severe weather, especially right here near the borders. You can have that very high energy. You have 3,800, 3,900. You have 3,200, 3,200. You even have near Houston 4,000 joules per kilogram in Houston. That's very, very high. That's where you can have some severe weather. Around it, 3,800. You have 3,600, 3,300, 3,700, 3,900 right here. We have a 4,100 joules per kilogram for parts of eastern Texas in that moderate chance for severe weather. That is very, very high. We can have very large hail in that area. 3,600, sorry, 3,400, 3,600. Let's move on to 8 p.m. As the storm's moving east, you can see it's a bit lighter, but it's still not really low, but not really high. You have 2,500. You have you're in the low 3,000s and the high 2,000s. You have 3,000 there. That you have 2,600. These aren't very high because the biggest threat will be during midday, but as it moves to at night, when it moves east, it's going to be a lot less strong, but there's still going to be quite some heavy bands. 2,200, 2,400, just very light compared, just not a lot of energy. And if we go to tomorrow, there's going to be a lot less energy. Let's go to 8 a.m. tomorrow. As you can see, just not really anything for parts of the south. 0, a big difference. Then it's only 1,200. Let's go to 2 p.m. as it moves to parts of the southeast. Not really high. Only 2,800, 3,000 for some areas. But just not going to be a lot of energy for parts of the south as we get into tomorrow. But yeah. Hope you guys like this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And see you guys in the next video. And yep,